Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for clicking on this video. What you are going to hear today is going to bust your mind. It's going to scatter your brain. The reason why we have unanimous FC, the reason why pastors, Christian councils, peace councils, traditional leaders and rulers, prominent people in the society today who were so vocal in times of JDM are so quiet today. The abductions in the society, the kidnapping, including the popular bongo idea. There are some people in Ghana who have hijacked those people, having their private information at hand and therefore using them against them. So if you are a judge, you are sitting on a case. We have 7-member panel of judges. We have a 9-member panel of judges, and everyone says the same thing on a case. When someone's fate is in their hands, they don't care. It is because these people are being controlled by some few members in the society. Reverend Lawrence Tete is currently in the news. He's been exposed on certain things of his private life, which is being spearheaded by Koku Anan, formerly of Net2, currently making so much noise and threatening that he's going to bring cases against a lot of pastors. These kids, these people are behind these things. Kevin Taylor, today, part 1 of his exposé is out, and I'm telling you, what you're going to hear is going to bust your mind. Just stay tuned to this. You are going to hear Kevin Taylor. You see, the popular 2020 election where NDC lost, and that losing of NDC is something that does not make sense. Kevin Taylor will tell you why that happened. The reason why the EC had to come up with 5 different results which did not make sense to anybody, and they could not even explain it. You will get to understand that. Just stay tuned. Kevin Taylor will make all this known to you. Those people were and are being empowered by the NPP. That is why the NPP is saying they are going to win the 2024 election by tactics. Election is supposed to be won at the polling station. Why are they saying they're going to win it by tactics? All this are being exposed by Kevin Taylor in his part 1 expose. Just stay tuned to this. Don't go anywhere. Listen to Kevin Taylor. This is Hijackers Media.
All right, now let's take care of what we came to discuss today, and it's got to do with the hacking NPP for uses some gentlemen in Ghana to do. Now, let me show you. Some brantiwe, baby, see them as criminals. I am coming to show you faces of people who are hacking. About 80% of Ghana celebrities, politicians, the clergy, and the judiciary, their phones have been hacked, and most of them, they know. Majority of them are being blackmailed by these gentlemen I'm going to talk about. Me say majority of the judges in Ghana and the clergy, me say sa boys we are NPP for edi ejuma amo musomunye. That is what they do, and these are the boys who cloned 2020 elections results. Nearby no, sa results ni nyina na omo intercept results no, and they were at the end of the day omo na omo dibi kika ho eyi bi frima na easy for no to be gina wise omo system no call off. It's easy for us. Oh, the network went off. No, they direct all of these results, no, from the regional, no, and into make creating regional and son about national. The reason why they did that, no, say they had to divert all the results to these men. Omudi government agency equipment and na omudi air day, omudi dear bonnet. There are some. I've spoken to about 2 judges, and they are Supreme Court judges when they sit on any case, they cannot vote contrary to what the Chief Justice will vote. You lie bad. They have basically been able to some are suffering from Ghana no. And one pastor also are very careful. And a pastor your friend saying Reverend Kofi Addo, yeah, he is their next. They will hack him. They will send. Before also on group, no matter send the links in the group. Moi, Mumubi mo Jimina, na mujejina group yes ye bom paye, obi send links. Now I could press so so I do hack you. And that is what they have done to most of Asori form peniforno, any judge form peniforno. People's personal life. Most of you pictures no more you videos then they start to use it against you. And there are so many judges in Ghana, they cannot talk. And I know about 12. They cannot talk. And some of them personally, they have spoken to me, say, Kevin, this is the situation. We can't do anything. Because BB Kim, they'll put the videos out. Obia or the personal life. Obia or Nyoma or behind the scenes. And that is what these people do. These people sometimes could be this alpha hour. Into what some drop a link. Obedience quotation. Also, group you see gospel a prayer group or school group you must be drop a link. That is how. But I want to say these gentlemen, this man, this guy, his name is Benjamin Ansah, a very dangerous guy. So Benjamin Ansah, anyway, the company who computers and como. So I do phone da say or check BB also. So I do laptop da. He is in your laptop. Mameka you been show. If you are Ghanaian today in Ghana, not this gentleman called Benjamin Ansah. Me by my mom in the background. Me by mom in the background. I'm going to clone 2020 elections. 2020 election results. It came to them before it came to the EC, and that is where Anoche NCA. That is where they were getting their results. Majority of the radio stations they were getting results from these guys. They were not getting it from EC. And at the point, NPP said they were able to collate the elections results before even the EC, because the EC knew that the elections were going to go to these people were going to look at the numbers, clone the numbers into 60,000 for NDC or 32,000. No, I done no. NPP the NA 15,000 or 51,000. And Tuba said the pink sheet on the ground, no, East one, you could see there is no connection. But Tobacco say, Nani is sending also saying you're sending these are the boys. Now, before I go on, I'm going to show you another person. This guy, his name is Kojo Osafo Mafu. Very diabolic, dangerous guy. Let me tell you, he knows his job. And when I say he knows his job, we have dig this guy about America. He's good at his job, and he's taking advantage of that. And this guy, the number of people are, and that this boy is duping. Oh no, he's into the director when it comes to cyber security or NCA. This is the guy who puts together the master plan. Now, the reason why I'm doing this in English, you've heard me speak a little bit of English, is because we are going to petition the IEEE. Osafuma Fubanye. These are the criminals in Ghana who are destroying this nation. Now, before I go to Benjamin, Ansano, let me tell you a little about this guy. Now, the NPP, what they have done now, and they say, you see this guy, it was recently moving the director of cyber security. Yes, no, or a lecturer or Ashesi said in their university. I don't even know. Now, this guy is making millions. And this guy's expertise, say, he has good experience in mobile chips and what we call component security. The reason why I'm doing this is because he has gone against the international rules and regulations. And the license is what he's using to commit crimes in Ghana. This boy. His name is Kojo Osafo Mafu. 2020 elections, he women elections. Now, his expertise is mobile chips. He knows how he can create different kinds of platforms and networks. They sit on Dijumano. He is the mastermind behind it. And normally you don't see him. The reason why I show the name say when you go into the ethics of IEEE, IEE, Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers, a well-recognized institution that he's part of. He has that license. Now, Adebakwa, the IEEE hates is to use the license to suppress people, to use the license to commit a crime. And this is what this boy, Otigana, no, because ne papa the advisor to the president, this is what he is doing in Ghana. They are manipulating Ghana over the national security, tapping into people's phones, tapping into people's offices, data. This boy is the guy who sits behind and say, I've created this, use this. 2020 elections, he is the one on the distracted system, he is the one who was able to make sure say cloning numbers. Now the funny thing about this guy is say build the tools. He builds different kinds of tools, and because the tools are platforms, sensitive ones are yet to me institutions yet to me real data. That's why I'm saying say a petition has been put together because the evidence we have with his connection. So what he has tried to do is say every time he does this, he stays away. And today be on no more catch him say, I will do it, but do not make anything linked to me, but mistakenly with Jano. You see, this world obia time eba, and when your time is ripe, now what he does normally say, so we study to do some time be obuha or say my Facebook ya Jeffrey Minsem, this is the guy. Obi because I'm Twitter, they have struck me. Your create account so from me is this guy. They are basically suppressing free speech, and this is the guy they are using. And normally he's quiet, and he is the one who builds the tools. In fact, ne papa ne osafmafu. And in weeks to come, this guy, his license will be taken from him. He is a criminal. He is using this opportunity, also or this server Ghana, he's using this opportunity to destroy this nation. And internet MP before to me catch will say, oh, you better win elections, but the strategy we be winning. These are the people they are talking about. Sakwa way, he had a problem on internet. You can say Starlink by Elon Musk internet and by he didn't like it because every election biano omu use Ghana internet now they conduct it. Now what happens and then they say the moment you are on Ghana's internet they will be able to hack your system. And internet NC and Omkofa they are not free America better than Ghana, and they took this boy and put him there. When I hear the enemy of the state, when I come with fuel station, you don't let him go. When you share petrol go, when you must say kuro. These are the people blackmailing judges. Into Utubu say, and in the history of Ghana, you'll be a friend a unanimous FC. It is because of these boys. They have a lot. They have a lot on the judges, and through this boy and the Benjamin guy I'm about to talk about, omo a blackmailing judges ma asofu bi Ghana komu tumi nka they are asofu Ghana they are kosomu tumi nka uko peace counselor almost omomuti nyina. These boys have their private conversations and their life. They use that to threaten them. And in the 2020 elections, the EC could not give you definite numbers because the NCA, what we call the guys, come. It's time for us to do the job, Mombra. The NCA, the National Security, and what we call the Bureau of National Communication, and BNC, NCA, NI before during elections, and J sent to me mamo direct election results because these were the people who had to work on the numbers. They had to work on the result before the EC gets it. Into Mubusa NDC for Mubusa, Omo representing NDC war, strong room or EC war now. At a point, the system wasn't bringing anything. The moment the system goes down quiet, it means they have moved all the numbers. There's a diversion. They are cloning the numbers. And it's na NCA for no, they were the ones churning out the numbers. And it's na anoche echo BA a whole day a result center ma NPP almost omunya numbers no. I say Paul Adomochi went to a ND's MPP4. Baby anom collect some results no. Ebusa anoche say some numbers there. I think Techiman South. Anoche could not give the answer because the numbers it wasn't coming from ECU, it was coming from these people. Mr. S, give me that video. That was that video. A man, Ghana for a smarter, a whole number who said the numbers that were coming to the ECU, it was being manipulated by these people. It was being manipulated by NCA, NIB, and BNC. These were the people who were giving you the results. It's Paul Adomochi, Echo NPP4. Coalition Center. Busa Anoche results be screened, so Anoche could not give answer because so see the numbers there are numbers that you are getting from the ground, which have been certified. Why couldn't you give answer? Because Nasanko 4 way into me certified numbers in the man. And I know my team will find the video and they'll give to me a very, 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 very common video. Paul Adomochi went to a NPP4 Coalition Center. Now, I'm sure I did. So this guy, say he should be ready. He's going to answer questions. He's committing one of the craziest crimes on earth. Obeko jail. This boy, Bonia with Dio Ghana, Bonia Mudan with Dio Ghana. Now, let me show you this. I spoke about this guy. Every person who has been abducted in Ghana is this guy. So I want to say, Yakwachi Obi. National security for small be in Kofobi the Kaba, it is Ben Ansa. This guy. Or no ni position oye Juma Ewo BNC, Bureau of National Communication. Now let me show you how he made his way up there. Way a krobiemwa Uncle Bishalan Koso di bibi bonitrim or a dangerous guy. Hey? Through this guy, ya teaching Kofu be Ghana any maybe more. Bongo ideas no children. It was this guy who instructed. It is this guy, and I have the facts to tell you. Bongo ideas no children and be a Huawei NMA instructions. NPP are buying. So what is your chill be na you be your wa? It is this guy. And this guy is the guy who basically is out there doing all the crazy stuff. Oh, say, Osafuma for Bana make sure on the picture first, no. Oh no, because of the IEE, or joining, no. Because Onim say rules, no. Man, he always stays back. This is the guy who basically works for Jubilee House, and his job is simple. His job is to suppress people in Ghana. Now, how did he get to where he is now? Akwawe na oye a mere driver for Asla Owusu. Asla Owusu is the communications minister. We na oye Asla Owusu driver. I'm now going to show you, Mr. Sanko, for you when you see them. So I do phone pain. Waba ufie. I will show you a soft form of romufia. Ako bag omufie. So akwa we aba sorry fie da. Waba ufie da. Waba bejo computer. Wajo phone so ya there. They are listening to your call. They are taking every info from you. They will come after you. His name is Benjamin Ansa. Benjamin Ansa. Now oye Asla Owusu driver kekewu. This guy used to just drive Asla Owusu. Onye ni pebiao. Now oye driver. Now see what happened. Now do you know, say, as we speak, this criminal, he is the head of security judicial services. Oba judicial services are getting on the head of security. Tie. And the Ghana. Oba Ghana judicial services, judges for ne, lawyers for ne, people who work in the judiciary, the clerks near there. He is the head of security, judicial service, security. On the handle security, this guy. Into me catch say it is through this guy no bag judges ni nyina. Judges ni nyina omo phones ni nyina. Now, there's something interesting. Now, you know this boy, Oslawusu and Jubilee House, they tried everything possible to get this guy into the Ghana Law School. He tried a couple of times. He failed. This guy. And in Yabua did not allow. You know why? Now, Ghana Law School, during the exams, he was in charge of examination body in charge of the security. Could you believe that this guy, he was the person who basically entered the system and stole the questions and was selling the questions? Make sure the reason why it's here, Oba Ghana Law School, they sacked him. Why they did not pass him? This guy, he implicated 3 policemen at the Ghana Law School. This album in the no, and or implicate police for no, and as our police for no problem. Now the funny thing is, later they did the investigations. Don't be say, this guy called Benjamin Ansa, he was the one who stole the questions because he had access. He was able to get into the computers of the Ghana Law School. And later on, be say he is close to Asla Owusu. He used to be Asla Owusu's driver. No? What they did was that they sacked him. They questioned him on it. There's a report there. So he was sacked from the Ghana Law School. This guy, they were pushing Enin Yabua, the former CJ, to make him go through. But Enin Yabua said no, because the guy is so weak-minded to be able to be pushed through the Ghana Law School. So several times, he could not make it to Ghana Law School. But that incident in AC, because he is in charge today. When you go to the judicial services, or then the head of security, Munko in the background wing. This boy, we have been able to locate houses that he's bought in America. He has a wife, also a doctor, our twins. We have been able to locate all these things. Our 2 twins. Go to the Facebook page of Bibian Tour, because he's hurting people. This boy is murdering people because he has been given power. He was just a mere driver. Or instructing this guy. He's just a mere driver. And then he is the head of security, judicial services. Now, I mentioned damage and Akufo here. We have documented. You see, the agenda right now they have, these boys, Akwawe especially. He has the plan to say before the elections or the twins in the Beba Krumha, and that they are prepared. If election does not go the way it should go, they will flee the country. We are waiting. After the damage they have done, kidnapping people, going into people's blackmailing judges, blackmailing men of God. Mebodin, Pastor and a friend Lawrence Tete, Akwa women a black go for them bargain. Lawrence Tete, they entered his phone, they entered his home, they put cameras in his home. Lawrence Tete, these people, that is what they did to him. They were able to get a boy to go and marry Lawrence Tete's daughter. That boy, I'll talk about him. He's not a PhD holder. He lied to them that he's a PhD holder. That is another criminal. I'll do his story for you to hear. And you can put there one thing. These people, do you know the number of people they are listening to their calls and installed cameras in their homes? Now, there's something happening at the judiciary. Interestingly, when Madam Tokonu took over from Enin Yabua, Madam Tokonu basically decided to bring this boy closer. I can give you the phone number of the Chief Justice. I have everybody's number. I can give you the phone number of the Chief Justice. I can give you the phone number of. I can just give you the phone number of the Chief Justice of Head. And all the people these guys have bagged, Chief Justice, the last number A52. The last number A52. That is the number of the Chief Justice. These people, all the judges in Ghana, they have bagged them. And then sometimes Twitter will say, now then you go Supreme Court, it is like Sebio, your judges know, all my toys. They all are doing one thing. Now the most interesting thing is, when Chief Justice Tokonu came into office, she did something. Let me tell you, the reason why Yoni Kolendi was not made a Chief Justice over Tokonu was because these boys bugged him and they threatened him. See, Justice Doche, the former Justice Doche, he masterminded it. Yoni Kolendi was not given the CJ job because these boys, they tapped into his phones. These boys, they bugged this man. It was former Supreme Court Judge Mr. Doche, this man. Come. And we all know Doche. Yeah. Doche was the one who made sure, because Doche was expecting Akufo Addo to make him CJ. Akufo Addo kwasi asemo started the Doche led it. Opuni case about review, Doche was the one who led it. That time Nona Eninyabua was in South Africa. It was Doche who brought in another judge to change the review against Opuni. Doche was the same person. The Attorney General went to meet in his office privately. Me catch Mohana a copy of Supreme Court, Midi copy hono. It was Justice Doche. So he was working for Akufo Addo, working with Attorney General Godfrey Dame to make sure that he becomes the CJ, because Naka criminal retire. Akufo Addo efre Yoni Kolendi, because Yoni Kolendi is from Akufo Addo's law firm, or one of his boys. And we all knew, say, Yoni Kolendi could have been the CJ. Now, this is what happened. Dochemu, through some judicial services workers, they came together and they did what they bagged Kolendi. This boy called Ben Ansa, they have every information on Kolendi. His phone, his laptop, his private life. This guy. But do you know what's dangerous? You see, sometimes I keep telling the Chief Justice of Ghana, Jesus Christ had everything at his disposal. When I say everything, ne papa ni nyankopon. Enti sankobi bedi ni bone kra na ngo say Jesus Christ. Oh. But Jesus Christ, so who cry at the end obey. Sometimes we do some things, we think, say, we have fortified ourselves to the point where nobody can touch us, and we are going to help people do wrong. It is wrong. You see this lady, you see this person. Let me start from here. Her name is Jedzon, D-Z or D-Z-E D-Z-O-R-N. Jedzon. Justice Doche, former secretary. Now, CJ, new secretary. T. This lady, women are damage or judiciary. These are the people who are conniving with Ansamo. These are the people doing the damage. This girl, she used to be Justice Doche, former secretary. Today, this girl is the new secretary to CJ. Do you know the connection? I'll tell you. Now, you see this person, Ruth. Now, this lady, Chief Justice Office, she is now the PA to the CJ. I'll show you how this is linking. If you know what is happening in Ghana, and Akufo Addo ba umia picture na po ka obetwem kamo parliament wo. Your judiciary has been hijacked. Your elections have been hijacked. Your clergy, they have been hijacked. You people have no country. There is no freedom of speech. These people have finished you. Now, this lady is called Pamela. I think a lot of people know her. Pamela Addo. I think she used to date Akufo Addo sometime. Now, she is the judicial secretary. There's one man called Mr. Bedu, on a HR manager. Let me tell you, all the pictures I've shown you, I am going to take my time and do extensive work and how our judiciary today does not belong to us. On names of the church now, I'm going to do an extensive job, But you see, these people I've told you, they are only effective because of this guy. These are the two guys who are making her very effective. And this guy, he kills, he kidnaps, he bugs. Yeah? You see this boy, sir boy, get me, where's it? This boy, his name is Jedu. These are the boys they send into people's home to install the cameras and bug their systems. This boy, his name is Jedu. Mashana me keep your munyina picture. Send a beya time in draw. You people will understand what I am doing. Way boys women use your grounds work, we watching baby also bono. Do you know the damage these boys have done to people in Ghana? Do you know the damage they did in 2020? The 2020 elections, these are the foolish boys the NPP used, and they are still using these boys. In fact, let me tell you, Osafuma Fobana, who is part of the IEE, because see, this guy, Kojo Osafumafo, this boy, when you go into the IEEE, code of conduct and code of ethics, they have stated it clearly there. You cannot use what you have learned and the license you have to suppress any human being. And it is one thing that you don't do.